Yeah, hello and welcome back to Soulpreneur Scaling Stories. I am really excited we have a guest today. It's been so long since I've had a guest. So today I have with me Kim Vargo, who is a systems strategist. Hello, Kim. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you today?
Fabulous. So introduce yourself, please, and tell us what your business looks like today.
Sure. So hello, my name is Kim Vargo. I am the owner of Vargo Co. Very original. And I am a systems strategist mainly for wedding industry professionals. I help them with their inquiry process and kind of streamlining and optimizing their whole client journey. I am a certified Dubsado specialist, so I do work a lot in Dubsado. But yeah, and I just love like helping creatives get back to doing what they love and not focus on all of the back end stuff that might not be their favorite thing to do.
Yeah, could we talk a little controversy for a minute? Or potential
sure.
controversy? Okay, what are our thoughts on Dubsado 3.0? And am I a bad person because I have been delaying going in there because I already know how to use 2.0?
No. So I don't think it's a controversy, but I think like I still use 2.0 as well and I'm a certified specialist. Dubsado is still, when you go, it does say like, oh, new and improved, but it's also very clear that it's still a beta. And with beta versions come honestly like issues and little problems. And for me, it's just not worth it to be using it yet. Like I've gone in there, it looks pretty.
It does look pretty.
I'm sure it's going to work great. And I know the reason why they literally built 3.0 up from the ground. 2.0 there were all these features that people were requesting and they just literally couldn't put those into 2.0, which is why they started fresh with 3.0. But there's definitely, and they're fixing things, but there's lots of bugs. And I tell all my clients, like, we're staying 2.0. I'm planning to make lots of tutorials once 3.0 is like, in my opinion, ready to go. But right now, especially because I preach like automations and stuff, when the automations glitch, that's really frustrating. So okay. I'm very much stay in 2.0 for right now. So no, I don't blame you. Yeah, I saw you use Dubsado.
You were like, I recognize these forms. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this looks like a Dubsado form. I can tell. So yeah, I don't think like it's controversial, but maybe it is. There's definitely some chatter on the internet. I'm sure you've seen.
Well, and it's just I will get off Dubsado in a second, but like, I feel like, I don't know, there's some sort of, or I feel some internal pressure as a person who is like, I come from an OBM background, and I feel like, oh, it's pretty, like I should learn to use this. But every time I need to go in there, it's just to do something quick. And I don't have the brain space right now to learn a whole new system when I already know the old system. But it's also comforting to be like, no, it's okay. Like, just hold on.
No,
and
it's fine. And like, I know it's going to be great. But I just think for now, I'm kind of like, it's not something I want to deal with knowing that they're still making changes.
Yeah. So, okay, you heard it here from a Dubsado specialist who's certified in all the things that we don't have to pressure ourselves to go into 3.0 right now.
Oh, please, don't put any pressure on yourself because they didn't say like when they're getting rid of 2.0, but I have a feeling it's going to be a while.
Right?
Yeah.
I think there'd be a lot of backlash if they were like, bye. Like, you can't use this.
They're not just going to like rip the Band-Aid. I think there's going to be plenty of warning and all that.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back into something. Back to you, more interesting.
Yes.
Okay, So you have, and I saw that you have some really cool offers that are really organized and that there's done for you, done with you, there's groups. So can you talk a little bit about just kind of going over generally what your offers look like now? And then I want to talk about the journey to get to this place.
Sure. So yeah, my main two offers are a done for you Dubsado setup and a done with you Dubsado setup. So done for you is where I do as much of it for you as I can, right? There's definitely still, I can't read your mind. I don't know what you need for your business, but I ask you the questions to figure that out. But the done for you is like the most hands off for my clients as possible. Although I never want to say it's hands off because I can't read your mind. But both of them, what's I think the most important for if someone is going to map out your systems in Dubsado or Honeybook or any other platform, you need to have, I start both services with a process mapping session where we basically like take what your dream client journey is, and then I make that fit into Dubsado, down to, like project statuses and the tags and custom mapped fields and all the little things that like you probably wouldn't think of, but I definitely think of when I'm building Dubsado. So both services start with that. The done, and then afterwards, so after we have our session, I basically end up with a big list of all the things that need to be created. Because when you're building a system, you need to have all the pieces. You can't just go right to building the workflows. If you go into Dubsado and decide you're going to start, if you go to workflows first, that's the worst place to go. You need all the pieces for the workflows first, because otherwise you're going to go and say, oh yeah, I don't have this form yet. I don't have that schedule yet. I don't have these emails yet. I don't have that questionnaire yet. I need to build these project statuses and make it look branded and all the things. So in the done for you setup, I build all those pieces for you. I write your canned emails. I do it all. Versus the done with you, I do this one as, right now I'm offering it as a group program. And basically after that mapping session, am I frozen?
You're a little bit frozen.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on, we'll pause for a sec.
Okay, there we go. I was
now you're
like,
back.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So the done with you, we still have that same one-on-one process mapping session, but then from there, I walk you through, here's what you need to do first. Here's how you build this. I provide templates and stuff, but then you're the one actually doing the building. And I do it as a group program, so I can offer weekly calls for people to ask questions. And there's a little like sense of camaraderie and also urgency with the group program aspect. So there, and that's obviously like a bit of a lower price point because it's less work for me.
So what inspired you to, because Dubsado builds like, this is I don't want to say standard, but that's like an offer that one would assume, right? Like, I'm a Dubsado specialist. I have the full done for you build. What was the thing that inspired you to do the group format in your offer?
Well, I was looking at like the done with you offer, and I feel like I was trying to do like something that wasn't going to be as expensive.
Right. Because there are people, you have clients that say, oh, I can't afford right. Like the full build. So what can we offer them that also can serve those clients?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the reason why I did the group program is because honestly, the call aspect, if I were to offer one person a call each week for an hour, like by the time I build that in, the price is going to be not as affordable anymore versus if I'm doing it for 10 people, that feels better for me. And yeah, so that was why I did the group program. I'm still kind of thinking about how I can do the done with you, not as a group, because, some people might not want to, they might want to start right now versus starting when the group is starting and yada, yada. But that's where I'm at right now.
Very interesting. And so so now let's go back in time and talk about your journey to get to this place. When did you start your business? What year did you start?
Well, part-time, I think about 3 years ago, maybe almost like 3.5. I used to be a teacher. So I imagine this is kind of where we're going anyway, so I'm just going to get right into it. So I was a high school math teacher for 10 years. This is my first year full-time in this business. But I kind of post-COVID, and I have 3.5-year-old twins. And you know what? I started this before I was even pregnant. So it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago now that I think about it. Time flies. But I'm sure, especially when you have twins,
baby twins, like I'm sure time doesn't even exist.
My brain just, I have like no concept of how long it's been since things. Yeah. But I was looking for kind of a way out of teaching. My heart just wasn't really in it for a variety of reasons. And I think having my kids was really like the final push to like actually do something. But I do there's lots of teachers out there Googling, what can I do? Thinking you have no skills, right? You're like, I can just be a high school math teacher. This is all I can do. Feeling so pigeonholed. And then I found the world of virtual assistants. And I said, okay, this might be something I could do. Well, I knew it was something I could do. And I took a course to, do my branding and all that. There's many out there. And everything kept saying niche down, niche down. And I was like, well, what's my niche going to be? And I talked to this woman, Lisa, and she did this whole like brain map on me. And she's like, okay, well, you're really organized. You like helping people, blah, blah, blah. And she told me, she was like, you should look into systems. And I said, okay. And I found Dubsado and I kind of just went for it. And then I ended up working with a couple people in the wedding industry. Specifically, my first couple clients were signage and stationery people. And it kind of just became my niche. But yeah, so that's the long story.
So it's interesting,
how I ended
though,
up doing what I do. Yeah.
Before you became enthralled with Dubsado, were you doing general VA work, or that's like kind of what you just jumped into because you were exposed to that and really loved it?
So the first client that I had, she's still a client today. What is the signage and stationer? So I ended up like doing some system stuff for her, and I was like, oh, okay, like I should, like kind of latch onto this. But I was doing general VA stuff, like helping her with like scheduling, and she didn't really have a great system in place. So I was kind of doing the stuff that Dubsado does for her now, manually. But
the thing that I find really cool is that you were like, oh, like, I kind of like this. Like, let's go for it and see what happens. It doesn't sound like there was a lot of hesitation in terms of, like, I'm going to focus on this.
I'm generally, like, I am a kinesthetic learner. I learn by doing. So for me, I was like, I should just give this a shot and see how it goes. And, like, no, I obviously, like, try to plan stuff out to a point, but I do sometimes build the plane as I fly.
Yeah, but listen, this is why you have a successful business now. Right? Is because you were like, you weren't afraid to take that leap, and you're like, let's just try. Let's do this thing. Let's go all in and see what happens. Versus what I find or what I see oftentimes is that people hold themselves back, and they're scared to evolve, because anything unknown is scary, right? You're like, okay, like I just set up my business, I'm getting clients, and now like it's scary to do the next thing, even if I want to do it.
Yeah.
And so,
like, what if it works out?
Right. Exactly. I know this is a nervous system situation. There's a lot going on. Our nervous system loves familiarity. And so anything new is really scary, and success could be scary, and all of these things are really scary. And I think it's really inspirational, and it's a good lesson for people to be like, just try. It doesn't mean you have to do it forever. Right? Like if Dubsado wasn't your thing, like I imagine you would have just switched to do something else.
I would have just pivoted somewhere else. Yeah.
And so I think there's a lesson in that. Right? Well, but it also, it's cool though, because you also sought out another expert to help you see what was aligned within yourself, right? Like for somebody else to be like, oh, you sound like systems would be something that you would be like good at and be interested in. In my words, I would say it's your unique magic. And then you were like, okay, yes, like let's go, and like
I feel so. I kind of stumbled upon that person in like a Facebook group.
Yeah.
I think I had like reached out offering like honestly free work or like discounted work because I was trying to build up my portfolio. And she was like, hey, like, don't do that. Let's chat. And it was just like out of the goodness of her own heart. Oh. I didn't pay her anything.
Oh, wow.
I think she was like testing a new process and was like, I was, I guess, a good test dummy for her. But yeah.
But that's so cool. Yeah. So, and then, that felt good. And you're like, okay, let's go down that road. And then like you just being exposed to Dubsado and just taking the leap, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And then the wedding people, it sounds like you just kind of fell into it. You're like, okay.
I did. Yeah. I know. And it's sometimes like, I've been asking myself lately, like, have I niched too much? Like, should I expand a little beyond wedding people? Like, I wonder if I'm like limiting myself. But I love working with wedding professionals. Like, when I was in high school and college, I worked in restaurants, I worked at Starbucks. Like I have that like hospitality piece in me. So not that I worked weddings, but I actually did once in college, helped a caterer. But like, I understand the high stakes that they have. I understand the level of pressure.
Yeah.
And like the bride's expectations are just increasing by the minute. Especially with like social media and all these like styled shoots that they think are real weddings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but like I get the level of pressure that they have, and I also get like that their brains are not wired to build systems, which is why I enjoy helping them. So yeah.
I'm curious what made you say that, oh, maybe I've niched too much.
Well, I just think like, as much as I love working with wedding professionals, I'm like, I would also love to work with like brand designers and graphic designers and web designers, like those type of people.
Yeah.
But like my website is, if you go on it, it's very much like, hello, I work with wedding professionals, which is good. But you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'm like, ugh, should I try to branch out a little bit? Or like, what about working with like a interior designer, or like there's plenty of other businesses that I would feel like I would connect really well with. So yeah, there's that little in the back of my mind.
Well, what's exciting about that is that it really just involves some tweaking.
Right.
You know, like if your messaging is on point for the wedding people, I'm sure it's very similar, and you would figure this out with doing market research or talking to the other creatives. And I bet it's just like a little bit of tweaking, and it's not too much to be able to expand if it's something that you want to do. And it just sounds like it's like, oh, this would be fun. Not like, oh, I don't feel like I don't have clients in this area, but it's like, oh,
yeah,
it's
no, it's not that. I just feel like it could be fun to try something new and just expand, and maybe I might find another group of people that I really enjoy working with. So
yeah, and
it's all possible.
Right. And it sounds like, you're the type of person who's not afraid to try. And like, let's see what happens. And just jump in and see.
Yeah.
I want to shift a little bit. So we talked about your offers. We talked a bit about your journey. And I love also to dive into how are we finding clients? Like what's going on there? How do we identify? And like what's been the journey on that way? Because that's also obviously an area that is of interest to people who are building their businesses.
This is something that I still struggle with, if I'm being honest with you. Marketing myself, talking about my business. I'm like, this is why I'm going on podcasts, because I need to talk about my business more. I need to get more comfortable. And I need to be like, okay, saying, hey, these are my offers and they're great. And that's a hard thing for people to do. Yeah. Especially when you're starting out as like a VA or OBM or something like that. But honestly, a lot of my first client, the one who I'm still working with, she was a referral from a friend locally, which was such a blessing because she has other friends in the wedding industry that she's recommended me to. And a lot of my business has been referrals and word of mouth, which there's not really a special formula for other than
doing good work and
doing
asking,
good work,
like,
and
a lot
asking,
of times.
right? Like telling people like, I would love to work with XYZ person or type of person. Do you know anybody? And like asking for, I think like, I guess my biggest advice is to like ask for a referral. If you see someone and like can tell that they're struggling and you have a connection with them, like maybe, use that connection. But yeah, I'm like, oh man, I wish I had 20,000 followers on Instagram, but like, I think I have 600. And it's just, it's something I struggle with all the time.
Well, so you're not alone, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
and
I
marketing
know.
is interesting, right? Especially as VAs, OBMs, done-for-you service providers, because I like to be in the background doing the stuff.
Right.
Right? Like,
I don't
not
want to be like
front-facing, like, hi, and show up dancing on reels and whatnot. Like, that's not something that appeals to most people who are doing done-for-you work.
Sure is not.
And I do see, like a lot of people similar who grow their business based on referrals, which is amazing, right? Because that means that you do good work. And then there comes a point where it's like, okay, like maybe I need to do something else, right? To
Right,
like
because
to
you
continue
eventually
to
like
grow.
get a little tapped out of the referrals, and you don't want to solely rely on referrals.
Right.
But yeah, I do like, if you look at my social media, like I post on Instagram, I try to do reels and stuff, and I also do email marketing, which I'm hoping will eventually produce some fruit. It's all like long game, right? And everybody
Yeah.
says, you know, someone needs to see something like how many times before they actually take the next step. I don't know what the number is, but I know it's a
They used to
lot.
say 7, and now I think it's just exponentially increased.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like
probably
from
like
there.
40. So,
But so yeah, right. I know. But you brought up a lot of good points, and I think it speaks to two things, right? So like one is the actual messaging piece. And I think that's something that a lot of done for you service providers don't, or like they think like, oh, I just do the things, like, right? Like I'm just doing the task. I'm just building the Dubsado, and not think beyond like, no, I'm actually making like transformation for people.
Right.
And I'm doing more than just saving them time, you know? And it's when, like, so I'd say like, if I were to give just advice, well, not if I were to, this is what I do. like when I work with my clients, is to talk really about like to really dial in and like know your ideal client, right? What their struggle with, like do market research interviews, like get their words and what their desires are. And then have some messaging that's speaking to those things that goes beyond, right? Just like the basics of like, yeah, I'm making you a CRM. Like,
right.
who
Like,
cares?
what's the outcome? What are they feeling? Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like all that good stuff. Because when you're really clear in those things, then not only does everything become easier, right? But it's also like then it resonates with the clients more, and then it's right. Like it just things happen much quicker.
Yeah, that's great
That's really
advice.
Yeah, so those foundations, and I'm going to add another thing because I also find
Yes,
a lot
tell
of
us.
get on my soapbox. I find so much that done for you service pros are so busy that also, right, that the marketing, like that's the last thing that you want to do.
It falls off to the side.
It falls off. And then when you need a client, you're like, oh shit, like I like have not, right? Because I've been so busy, I haven't been doing what I need to be doing to get clients.
Yep.
So having the, like what I help my clients with is creating a system, a marketing system that works, and you kind of adjust it based on where you are. So like knowing your plan ahead of time and adjusting it based on what your client load is. And basically it's one visibility platform and one nurture platform, and just focus on those things. And then if you want to expand beyond that later, fine. But getting really consistent on those two things and ones that you really enjoy, and then that's it. And so just like really basic foundations. And I think that those are the things, right, that really just help marketing not feel so heady and not feel so like, I don't want to be doing this.
When you said one visibility platform and one nurture platform. So visibility, you're thinking like Instagram, TikTok.
It can be Instagram, it can be Threads, it can be networking groups. It doesn't have to be social media.
Right.
You know? Like it can be the podcast interviews, right? Because then you're being exposed to like anything that gets you in front of new audiences where you're not the one, right? Like new people, anything
that
visible
makes
like
sense.
that.
Yeah. And then nurturing would
email
be marketing.
Email marketing.
But there's other examples that I'm not thinking of.
Yeah, because so Instagram can be both, right? Because you're nurturing people on Instagram because they're already in there, you know, like when they already know you. And then when you find the new people, it's kind of visibility. So social media can be both types. Email is a big one. And I think that's probably like a main like nurture type of a platform. So anything that's like they're already in your world and you're just connecting with them more.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. But and because you brought that up, and I think it is a really big pain point, I wanted to give some quick things that we can do.
Love it. I'm always down.
And so in your own journey, what has been the biggest hurdle as you've been growing your business?
Making consistent money. It has been, it's like, so that was why I took so long to leave teaching, because I was worried. And like, it's still something I think about all the time, because most of my clients aren't retainer based, they're project based. So I am constantly needing to find clients to, you know, hit the number that I need to make so I can pay my mortgage. Like it's a reality. And also with leaving teaching, like I know you can, technically give your 2 weeks and leave whenever, but I was like, no, I want to leave at the end of the school year and leave on a good note. And so you have to like time it. So it was like, that was a hurdle. But yeah, I think just like the consistently knowing like that I am the sole person that is responsible for making the money it's just different. I don't just show up to a place anymore and get a paycheck, which is like obviously the whole reason why this is what I wanted. I wanted freedom and flexibility.
Right. You're choosing your hard.
Yeah, exactly. I'm choosing my hard. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a real concern, right? This is a real thing that we all have to think about as being business owners in the online space. And okay, so I'm going to go back. Like, I'm not even like a sole person who like focuses on marketing, but like, I don't know.
We're talking marketing today.
I know. I'm like, you've inspired this in me. It's part of what I do. But anyways, but that's where I think that being consistent and like having a plan in marketing is how you secure your stability.
Yes.
Right? Because then it's not like, it's not this like, I have clients. Oh, wait, I don't have clients. Oh, wait, I have clients. Oh, no, I don't have clients type of a thing. Yeah. So, and that's like a self-care, right? For yourself, for your business, for yourself, for everything.
Knowing that you have that. Yeah.
Right. Knowing it's like, okay, I know how to get clients when I need clients.
Still working on the manifesting.
Yeah.
I feel like some people are like, oh, you just manifest and it'll happen. And I'm like, hey, okay. I don't know if I trust that.
That's a part of it. But we also need strategy to match it, right?
Yes.
We have the manifesting plus the action. We have to take action too. So, so that's a very big concern that so many people have. And that's, to me, this is the way, right? Like, this is how we mitigate this concern is by like, okay, this is the action that I'm taking. Is like, this is also important. Like my business, my clients are important, but my business is the VIP client.
Yeah.
Right? Because you need to be healthy.
I think, oh my gosh, so many people forget about that and let themselves, I mean, I'm guilty of it.
Yeah. Everybody is,
focusing solely on your clients, right? And I think I really want to start implementing the like CEO day, maybe even just every other week to like plan it. And it would be majority spent on marketing, let's be real.
Yeah. No, but it's important,
plan,
right?
And that's how the other stuff comes.
Yes, 1,000%. So we've learned anything today. Is
actually do that.
Do it, right? Like do marketing, like take care of yourself, and that these growth things, if you're feeling it, right? Like you, as Kim, like vocalizing this, like everybody else has had the same thoughts.
Right.
And so it's really helpful to have somebody share that, you know, and be like, oh, okay, and normalize that this is going on in the background. So it's amazing. And then my second to last question is, what is your top scaling tip? If somebody's growing their business, like from your journey, from what you've learned, what is the top thing that you would like to share?
Well, I think naturally my tip is going to be based around systems.
Yes.
My tip is to try to like build the systems before you think you need them. I find that most of my clients come to me and they're so busy. They're getting tons of inquiries and they're so overwhelmed. Try to get systems in place that will maybe prevent that overwhelm. And I know it's hard, especially in the beginning when you don't have a ton of money to like put into your business. But choosing where to invest your money in a way that you know will like move your business forward, I think is important.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, right? Because a lot of people are like, no, I can't spend any money, but then it also holds them back.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And I like, I've hopped on calls with people that are like asking me to spend like $15,000 a month. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but like and they're like, well, you'll get that if you'll have that if you work with me in the ROI. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, no, I might, but I also might not. And then I'm out $15,000. So there's got to be a line.
Right.
But, and like making sure you're working with people that are kind and supportive and,
Let's not work with the scammy people who are charging you that, who are pressuring you into doing that. But investing is
expecting a new
important,
business
right?
to spend that just seems
Yeah,
so
no, that's
wild to
insane.
me. Yeah.
No, that's insane. But yes,
Glad we agree.
Investing is important
Yeah.
as long as you can do it, right? We don't want to be
Right.
going into debt and doing crazy things, but it is really, whether it's a system, whether it's a person, like whatever it is, there are things that are going to help you to grow and get you there faster. So yeah, 1,000%. Okay. And last thing is, how can we get in touch with you? And then do you have any gifts or freebies or anything like that that you would like to share?
Yes. Okay. So you can find me in quite a few places. My website is kimvargo.com. My Instagram is kimvargo.co. And a resource that I'd love to offer, if you head to my website, it's kimvargo.com/resources. I have a freebie. It's a Dubsado inquiry workflow, and I made it specifically for virtual assistants. So kimvargo.com/resources will bring you there. But yeah, and also feel free to join my email list where I share more resources. That's also on my website. Yeah, lots of ways you can get in touch with me. Oh, and you can also email me at hello@kimvargo.com. I'll respond to you there as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us about your journey and being vulnerable and all of those good things. That was really fun.
Yeah, this was so fun. Thank you so much.